When you come to Matthew chapter 3, you get to encounter John, who then gets to baptize Jesus. And one of the most powerful things that happens is that immediately after Jesus was baptized, the voice from heaven was heard. The scripture says that the heavens opened and it was God saying these words: "This is my son, whom I love, and in him I am well pleased." This was great for Jesus to hear, because remember that immediately after the baptism, Jesus Christ went to be tempted by the devil. So Jesus Christ had to remember three truths. Number one, he had to remember that he belongs to God, because God tells him, "This, you are my son, this is my son." So Jesus had to remember that he belongs to God. Number two, Jesus had to remember that he is loved by God, because God says, "This is my son whom I love." And finally, he had to remember that he is pleasing to God, because God says, "In him I am well pleased." And this was great for Jesus to hear, because when he goes out there, he's going to be tempted, he's going to experience rejection, people will deny him. And as he experiences these things, he has to remember that he belongs to God, he is loved by God, but also he is pleasing to God. And I think the same applies to us, that we have to remember as children of God, we have to remember that we belong to God, that we are loved by God, and that we are pleasing to God. Because sometimes success and sometimes failure does attack our identity, and we forget that we actually belong to God, that we are loved by God, and that we are pleasing to God. And that is powerful for us to carry. And one of the things that we have to remember is that we don't actually earn God's acceptance, we just receive it. So you belong to God because of Jesus, and you are loved by God because of Jesus, and you're pleasing to God because of Jesus. I think the challenge for us, the challenge for you, is to live your life like one who belongs to God, to live your life like one who is loved by God, and to live your life like one who is pleasing to God. Stay blessed.